The Faculty is a 1998 film directed by Robert Rodriguez. It's written by Kevin Williamson, and we have a cast including Jordana Brewster, Clea DuVall, Laura Harris, Bebe Neuwirth. Bebe Neuwirth is in it a decent amount that I was quite happy with. We also have Salma Hayek, Piper Laurie. Obviously, we have a fabulous cast. Elijah Wood. I could go on. Really great cast. Interesting enough premise. It didn't appeal to me completely. But I'd say in general, I liked it. It's about a group of teenagers who suspect that something peculiar is happening to their teachers, the faculty. And it's a sci-fi film, and it could be a little bit extraterrestrial. And I'll say no more than that about the specifics, but what I will say is that we have some really great effects and some really great performances. The performances are really brilliant, and I really found that to be, for me, when the narrative maybe wasn't as interesting as it could be, for me, based on personal preference, the performances were still fantastic. And I was emotionally invested enough. I did want to know what was happening to the teachers and how they would find out, if they find out, and how things would be resolved and whether the situation was as dangerous as it seemed. And in general, I think things moved forward at a pretty steady pace. So there's nothing really about this that didn't work. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi in general. This is something I've mentioned before, but I watched it for Bebe Neuwirth. I doubt I would have watched it otherwise if Bebe Neuwirth hadn't been in it. And while I'm not going to say I'm absolutely thrilled that I had a reason to watch it, and it's one that I'm really glad that I had an excuse for, I didn't mind watching it. I don't think I personally would have been missing out on much if I hadn't seen it, based purely on personal preferences, but I was never bored. I never felt bored, so I'm taking that as a good thing. The story is decent, the execution is good, the characters are, I guess they're interesting enough, the performances are really great, and the cast is fantastic, so no complaints from me. If, like me, you're not a huge sci-fi fan, but the narrative still sounds interesting, I'd say give it a go. I will probably never watch it again, but that being said, I thought The Faculty was pretty decent. I guess I'm glad enough that I had a reason to watch it. It's never going to be my favourite film, but I found it engaging enough. The narrative was interesting, the performances were great, some really good effects there. So ultimately, The Faculty is not a bad story, with some pretty good characters and some really great performances. And if it sounds like something that might appeal to you, or if, like me, you're not sure if it would work for you going into it, I wasn't sure whether I'd enjoy it or not, but I'm pleased to say that I did. And if it's the same for you, then I'd say maybe give it a go. It's definitely not a bad film.